All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show, your outlet for up to date rock news right here for you. This week's show, nothing different than the usual. A lot of updates, few tours we're going to be talking about, updates with Roger Waters, of course, Mick Mars, Guns N' Roses, and then we've got a little bit about Bruce and Tony Iommi and Creed and all sorts of stuff. Foreigner, but can't do it alone. I got my partner in crime. That would be Doc Box. How you doing there, Doc?
Doing quite well, man. I had a pretty good weekend. Looking forward to a very good week, and yeah, a lot of stuff this week. Just first of all, thanks for everybody for dropping by and checking us out. As always, if you're a subscriber, thank you so much. And if you're not, please support us and hit that subscribe button. Greatly help us out. Yeah, a lot of interesting items. Like I said, a lot of updates. Before we get into all that, just came out this morning. Ozzy has withdrawn from the Power Trip Festival.
We talked about this, didn't we?
Shocking. I called this immediately. Not that I'm patting myself on the back too hard, but it was pretty obvious, I think. But yeah, I called that immediately that he's not going to make that. And sure enough, he says he's not ready yet. Keyword yet. So he sounds like he's still planning on doing something in the future, but just not yet.
Yeah, geez, we've talked about this ad nauseum that he's just retire. You're just going downhill from here. So retire while you still have an ounce of dignity, because really, it's no longer. It's just. It's time, Ozzy. It's time to go. Crying out loud. But he's got to.
Was there ever anybody in any walk of life that retired way too late that was good? You think back. I think back like Muhammad Ali. Remember Ali? He's the greatest. But then he went on. He fought Larry Holmes and got murdered. And then he fought Trevor Burbick and got murdered. It's like, dude, what are you even doing in there? I kind of feel that way about Ozzy right now, man. It's like, dude, what you're just hurting yourself and everybody that's watching you. So. I don't know.
Right, yeah. He should just call it a career. My gosh, we talked about it all the time. A stellar career. Why keep it going when he's just incapacitated basically, and what's he gonna do? At some point, he's just gonna go up there and just say the F word for the whole concert. Really, it's embarrassing.
Oh, and the crowd will roar. It'll be up front.
Yeah. Yeah, but he just doesn't know when to call it quits. But
so far
here's a band who knows how to call it quits, and that would be the Eagles. There they are, the Eagles. The Eagles, they've announced a farewell live North American tour across North America. The legendary Eagles. And who's opening with them? Steely Dan. So that ought to be a really crazy time there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. Wow, the Eagles, geez.
Yeah, security will have their hands full that night.
We all grew up with the Eagles. They're just amazing. Songs of our youth. Songs of our lives that they've written and performed. We've heard our whole life. Geez, and unbelievable. Of course, Joe Walsh. I was sort of ticked off when he went to the Eagles, but whatever, because that was he was so great with his original
James Gang,
his solo stuff, and then the James Gang, and he was really but what a great fit for the Eagles, obviously, and then of course they've taken on Vince Gill, legendary, to fill in for Fry, I believe.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be a great concert. Vince Gill himself, geez, he's a great picker. He's like a country shredder, quite honestly.
Right. Yeah.
Video. I think it's on YouTube. Vince Gill, Guitar Man, I think is the video, and he shows you what he's got. He's a shredder. Yeah, I love shredders. He's the heavy metal shredders. They got all the distortion and whatnot, but the country boys, they shred clean, and that's more than hard because
Yeah.
little mistake will be showing up. So they're going to be out there. You got your Don Henley, you got your Joe Walsh, your Timothy B. Smith, Deacon Fry taking the place of his dad up there, Vince Gill. And they're going to perform as many shows in each market as their audience demands. That could be a long concert, if you know.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, but we'll see. But
long concerts. Real quickly, Elton John finished out his career last Saturday night in Stockholm, Sweden.
Yeah,
He finished out his career with the song "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road," and I watched it. I watched his final song on tour, and it was just amazing. What you would expect from a legend like that.
right.
So, we got a lot of these bands. A lot of these performers are of our youths. They're all realizing, it's just time to call it quits and hope that the next generation coming up can even, lick their boots. Quite honestly, because these 60s and 70s bands, really. Good riddance. The newer bands, really, they owe everything to the 60s and 70s. Basically.
Yeah, no, true that.
Basically, 60s and 70s, because even the 80s, they sucked everything out of the 70s. So the 60s and 70s were classic. So it's just wow. A lot of our our performers we've grown up with, they're having to call it quits. Some should, like Ozzy, and some are bowing out gracefully, like the Eagles. So there you go. They're doing it with class. And Ozzy, I wouldn't even want to see him perform at this point because it's just going to be horrifying.
Yeah, they're calling this the Long Goodbye Tour, and starting in Madison Square Garden on September 7th. It's going to continue into 2025. They're saying they don't have all the dates filled in yet, but it's going to be a long one. Yeah. So,
was
noticeably not around. People may know Don Felder. It's kind of on the outs. He's been on the outs with them for a very long time. And and then when Glenn passed, Vince Gill stepped in, but now he's kind of turned into more of a replacement for Don Felder, kind of really. And then the son is kind of for Glenn, but. Yeah, man, the Eagles. I've kind of proposed before. The American Beatles. Maybe. I mean, people know their greatest hits. The biggest selling album other than Thriller. I mean, they kind of bounce back and forth between number one. So yeah, everybody loves the Eagles, man. I mean, that's for sure. They're good. I'm sure this is not going to be a cheap ticket, man. I'm sure. I hope this don't get into the dynamic pricing guide. This going. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to be well into the thousands.
Taylor Swift area, everything's going totally nuts. But yeah, good for them. Good for them. That'd be great to see. We've seen Steely Dan. Pardon me. We've seen Steely. Here, hang on. I got something in my throat. It's margarita. That's in my throat now, and it feels good. Yeah. So we saw Steely Dan, and that was all right. So, but to see the Eagles on their final tour, you're right. It's going to cost an arm and a leg, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if they care. Okay, speaking of someone who don't care anymore, ay caramba, here we go. Mick Mars, he's in the news again. There he is. There's his classic look right there. Absolutely, positively. But man, things are really on the outs. He says he doesn't want to talk to any of the Motley Crue bands ever again. He doesn't want to talk to any of them. So that had to be the strangest dynamic. Yeah, he said that in the 2020 the stadium tour with Def Leppard, he said none of them talked to him.
Right?
Like, wow, that had to be the strangest thing ever. These guys, because you start a band when you're nothing. You're scraping. You're living in a van. You're driving to gigs in a van with your equipment. I mean, you become really brothers, and to turn into this where they're so at odds with each other, it's tragic, man. Damn. Wow.
Yeah, he was saying on that tour, nobody spoke to him, and he says he'd be happy if they never spoke again to anybody. He says he's not the only one that feels that way. All the band members feel that way about each other. So it's like,
Wow.
talk about dysfunction, man. It's just, yeah, like you said though, you start off, you're a gang. You're a gang of brothers, man. You're single-minded, goal. You're ready.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's just things just slowly tearing apart. But
Uh,
yeah, he did a interview for Rolling Stone. They kind of had a few excerpts come out from that, but he says maybe they'd show up at each other's funerals. He said that'd be kind of about the extent of any interaction.
I don't plan on having a funeral. If I did, I think maybe they'd show up for that just out of courtesy. But for me, there's no funeral. There's no nothing. So, yeah, oh well. I hope they ironed out their financial differences and just go their separate ways then. I haven't heard anything out of Mick's new album yet, but I got to give it a listen. We'll see what happens. Heard some of the.
Well, it just goes to show you what money does, man. It's all about money at this point. Obviously, they don't like each other. I mean, I suppose John 5 is injected some
in the middle.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's injected some level of camaraderie into the band, I guess. But I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that band,
it's all about money at this point.
It's all a train wreck. Yeah, it's a money train wreck. It's so cool. Jeez, crazy freaking people. God, yeah. So it is what it is, man. Hang in there, Mick Mars. I haven't heard his new album. I saw KK Downing's band, KK's Priest, I think he's calling it.
Right.
Saw their first their first concert. I saw some videos of their first concert. It's good rocking stuff. And Ripper Owens, holy cow, he's still got a voice, man. Wow, can he scream? Wow. Very, very good voice on Ripper. This was a live, fan taken video too, sir.
Right.
Hopefully he wasn't using backing track. No, he wasn't using backing tracks. This was a smaller place, and he was screaming. But it's just weird. KK's Priest. No, knock it off. Knock it off, KK. Come on. Ugh. But anyway, moving on. Oh boy, Dave Draymond. Dave Draymond. Oh, here I got him with it. I got a picture of him with the goofy things in his freaking chin. There it is.
Yeah.
What a goofball. Anyway, yeah, he attacked Roger Waters. Who hasn't at this point? But he's receiving some backlash about this because he just won't give it. Just let it go, man. But he won't let it go. His criticism of Roger Waters doesn't seem to end after receiving backlash due to his attack against the Pink Floyd icon during his show in Israel. The Disturbed singer took to Twitter to respond to some of the comments. And yeah, it was gnarly.
Why?
I know. Well, here's one of the comments, which it's.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I want to speak on, but yeah, read some of the comments.
David Draymond's net worth is $8 million. Very cool. Roger Waters, quote, Roger Waters, a prominent musician and former member of Pink Floyd, has a net worth of $320 million. Oh, okay. So I guess that case closed. Okay.
Right.
We can't talk about anything because one guy's richer than the other. Oh, that was a stupid thing. To which Draymond responded, and I'm going to use my Southern accent if I will. And therefore,
he's from Chicago. You use Chicago over by there.
I got a good chick over by there. And therefore, what? He's allowed to be a raging jeez. I'm just going to do the Southern one. He's allowed to be a raging anti-Semite because he's more successful than I am. LOL. This isn't about this is an argument about who's more successful. There's no contest there. But I'm a better human being than Roger Waters will ever be. In that case, there is no contest. Whatever. That's petty, petty, petty. All these people are just getting petty. Draymond, not just I don't know. Well, Draymond is he is Jewish, so I guess he does take a little extra offense, if you will, what Roger Waters says. So. In that respect, hey, you can't complain too much about him bitching because, hey, Roger Waters is basically bitching about his people. So What do you do? Jeez, man, oh man. So yeah, it's been a back and forth, and he's getting a bunch of crap, but I imagine it's going to settle down pretty soon. Pretty soon.
If you read, there's a lot of comments like that. A lot of people chiming in on stuff and him responding. There must have been, I don't know what, about 4 or 5, maybe 6. I don't know. There's a lot of them in the article. And to me, why? Why even respond? Why even engage with stupidity? I mean, just why?
Good point.
And I have the answer, Murph. I have the answer.
Doctor.
How many times have we reported about celebrities? Well, we always talk about rock stars, but celebrities in general do post stupid stuff on Twitter, social media, whatever in general. I have the answer. Celebrities should just have a fake account of just an anonymous name where they post all that kind of bullshit. And that way it's never,
that's a smart thing to do. Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Ghost account, different name. Yeah. You go nuts. But yeah, who was it?
But they want their name to give their post some weight so people pay attention to it. But if it has any merit to it, just put it out as Joe Schmo, But,
oh, boy. I hate the internet. I really do. Ah, geez, because it brings out the worst in everybody. And yeah, one of the comments to Draymond, reading the replies, it looks like I'm not alone. Nobody knows who this apartheid supporter is. There you go, apartheid supporter.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, yeah.
Geez, and he replied, you don't have to. Who am I? Who am I shouldn't matter. This isn't a popularity contest. I'm a Jew whose family barely survived the Holocaust, whose family has lived in Israel since the early 1900s, who has over 2,000 relatives still living over there. So, he's got some skin in the game. So what do you do? God, I hate when, I hate when, politics has always been ingrained in the music, but usually it's against the government, the hippies of old, the railing against the man, and now they are the man, and everything's
against each other. Well, that's what the government does. They get everybody against each other. They've done their job, got everybody off of them and onto the other guy. So
it's just terrible. So yeah, what a stinking mess that is. They should just let it lie, because it's gonna nothing's gonna improve by the arguments. It's just gonna be an argument that's gonna stay out there, but it's not gonna improve anybody's life. It's not gonna do anything. So yeah, just shut up and play music at this point. I think that'd be a good start. Yeah, here's some other guys who should probably just stick to playing music, and that's Stone. They've had problems apparently with all their pre-party and during concerts and after-party or after-show get-togethers. There've been a lot of complaints, especially with the singer, and now they've banned their quote casting director from all concerts, for further concerts, as all pre-show parties have been canceled. So they're in a world of hurt there, and they had.
Well, yeah. This goes back to a story we did I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, where sex allegations. So the allegations, there was a young lady that came forward where they're basically their casting director, that's the term they're using for it, will recruit young ladies to come under the stage during the show and then during the drum solo or whatever, till Lindemann comes down with sparks flying out of his ass, ready to engage in sex with these unknowing young women. So a young woman came forward, and then just like the Me Too movement, several others started coming forward following that. So he's got some heavy sexual allegations against him right now, and a lot of people are calling for their tour, Rammstein's tour, to be canceled, just be canceled outright until all this has been worked out. But then other people are, you're innocent until proven guilty. Let them be worked out and let them go about their thing. But there was a young lady, a Russian woman named Alina Makiva. And she was accused of recruiting these young women, and now she's barred from even going to the concerts. So she can't even go to the concerts to recruit these young women for the the mid-show soiree under the
Well,
stage with Phil, I guess.
well, the scandal erupted after a young Irish lass. They call her a woman, but I'm going to call her a lass since I'm Irish too. A young Irish lass posted on social media that she had been drugged and propositioned by Lindemann, the singer, at a backstage party in Vilnius, resulting in several women accusing Lindemann of grooming and sexually assaulting them at after party shows. Yeah, there you go. Trying to be, oh, we're rock stars. We can do whatever we want. Well, maybe
honestly, this is the stuff that went on during the day. We talked about the time when we brought it before. This went on in the 80s all the time. All the time.
80, oh gosh, yeah. But we're in a new age, brother. We're in a new age.
Speaking of, I don't want to go on too long because we got a ton of news. I love YouTube. There's so much stuff to watch on YouTube, just random stuff you never come across. I came across an old Geraldo episode, and he had on there Sweet Connie. And she was telling her all her tales of all her escapades. Oh, it was fascinating. You got to watch it, man.
She was fascinating. Whole show, and that's a natural fact.
Natural fact. She's telling how she would do up a normal amount of guys to do to get to the band would be 15.
Oh my God.
Do 15 guys just to get to the band. It was fascinating. Anyway,
that's horrifying.
So yeah, this is nothing new, but now in this day and age, it's not the 80s still. It's not the 80s, man.
Nope. They're in trouble. So we'll see what happens with them crazy fire breathing.
Can you imagine being in a band with this guy, man? No, it's like, Till, dude, quit being so rapey, man. Just keep it in your pants throughout the show anyway, man. Come on.
Good grief. What the hey? So yeah, they're German. So what I don't know what that doesn't mean anything. So but moving on, nuns and Moses.
Looking for the Fraulein.
Yeah, what do we got?
Wo ist der Fraulein von den Stupen?
Lieber. Anyway, we talked about the Glastonbury Festival last couple of weeks, a week or so. But how a lot of groups had a bad set and everybody's complaining about them. But Guns N' Roses, they're calling out their critics by name over the bad review. Well, get over it. If you had a bad show, if the sound was bad, it's not the critic's fault. He's just reporting what was there, but not apparently. Axl's not really happy about that. So
a lot of people were talking about the audio on the BBC, and I come to find out if you had like a certain TV, it was called a UHD TV, then you had poor sound quality. So that was one of the things. But then they also were talking about they had critics just on their actual performance. And from the get-go, there were people. I remember what was a Noel Gallagher from Oasis thought they shouldn't be headlining, and they were receiving some backlash just from the get-go on it. But so now they're again, this term live agency. They're live agency. I've never heard that term, but speaking out for them. Saying it was the fault of the BBC, and then they tweeted out mentioning two critics by name, and then saying it would take a lot more hate than you, which I was kind of cryptic. Read into that whatever you want.
Mark Beaumont, yeah. So I'd call out two critics, but get over it. Jeez, everybody has bad sound. I saw a band Sunday that had bad sound at one of the local clubs. Good band. Bad sound. So it is what it is, Jeez, Axl, just be glad you're playing. I think he actually got there on time too, which is maybe he's starting to realize that hey, I'm an adult. Maybe I should start acting like one. Speaking of the Glastonbury though, this is really an interesting little story. They had different stages and whatnot, and apparently under the Glastonbury's pyramid stage, which was a stage that Guns N' Roses headlined on, they found a couple of where are they? A couple of owls, a couple of baby owls. Two owl chicks were discovered underneath the pyramid stage during the festival last month, and they've been named after the headliners, Guns N' Roses. That's just too cute. God, owls are so badass. you don't see many of them in the wild. I think I've only seen one actually.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
They're elusive, but they are so cool. But yeah, they how the hell are they find two owls in the stage? I have no idea.
Yeah, under the stage there, I guess the framework for the stage is a permanent structure. So, and we've all had that experience where you go and move something that's been sitting there forever, and then all of a sudden there's critters, man. I've done that and found a family of possums or something. So, but in this case, apparently, an owl laid eggs or whatever, and had a couple chicks there. So, initially they just found one.
Right.
And they took it to the vet, get all checked out and cleaned up and everything. And they said, well, they found it. So they called it Axel. And then they found a second one. And of course they had to name that one Slash. So, yeah.
How freaking cute is that?
Right.
Yeah. And even though they put on they should change the names just because they put on such a bad set. Change it.
Well, Axel the Owl sounds like kind of a cartoon character kind of owl.
Like Axel Foley, yeah. Axel
the Owl.
On the Axel Foley movie, yeah. But there you go, a couple of chicks. They probably would have been traumatized by the heavy riffs of Slash. Had they had to stay under there during the Guns N' Roses set, would have been traumatizing for the little owls. So I'm glad they moved them out. Good job. Good job. Oh, here's an interesting one. I didn't. Yeah, I'm sure you did you know about this beforehand or no?
No, I didn't. No, it's a new story to me.
Bruce Springsteen. Now this happened back in '85, on June 8th of 1985. The Boss, during the Born in the USA tour. I imagine you saw that one?
Yeah, that was the first tour I saw him on. I've seen every tour since. So
that was.
But what brought it up was it was playing at the same place again in Gothenburg, Sweden. And somebody held up a sign. It's time to break the stadium. Yeah. And this referred back to this night in '85. So.
Yeah. The E Street Band, they rocked Ullevi Stadium in Gothenburg, Sweden, and almost literally brought the house down when their rendition of Twist and Shout, when the vibration of 60,000 or so dancing fans caused the stadium to move on its foundation and nearly collapse. Whoa! Holy schmoly!
Dude, I've been to a dozen Bruce shows, and that's why I keep going back, man, just to have that mass of people, of humanity, and just all together. He's just holding the whole crowd in the palm of his hand, and just, dude, it's just, you're all as one and just rocking out. And yeah, it's I've haven't been part of like a stadium almost collapsing, but similar situations, man. It's awesome. That's why we go to concerts.
We have to go down to South America to see some of them crowds. Yeah,
right.
That's the kind of crowd we're talking about here. Just a crazy son of a gun.
So after that show, they didn't have concerts there for quite a while until they made some repairs, man. So that's pretty cool, man. That's rocking the house, truly, man. That's bringing the house down, man.
Well, that's great. He does all this damage to the damn stadium. Nothing.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Good for you, Bruce.
They're just on his way. Yeah.
Moving damaging a stadium with the hard rocking tones, if you will. Yeah. When I was in 8th grade, I was in a band, and we would do 8th grade dances. I can remember the principal coming up to us and telling us to turn down the tones. Because we always want to be loud. This was this was 19
early 70s. Yeah.
No, this was 70. Yeah, turn down the tones. What the hell's the tone? Are you talking about volume? What? Well, he's a principal. He was like Principal Skinner, so I'm not going to complain. But good for Bruce, man. Bringing down the stadium. You can't go wrong with that.
Now, of course, then after seeing the sign, then they went in to Twist and Shout, and the place went up for grabs, and didn't damage the structural foundation or anything.
Well, I would hope that today's engineers are a little more, computer technology and whatnot. They're able to build that'll last. But no, not necessarily. I don't know if folks have seen this, but the largest roller coaster in America, at the highest peak, it had a break in the bracing, and when some spectator down there just watching a roller coaster videotaped it, and when the roller coaster came around, you could see this thing separate.
Jesus.
Holy cow! Yeah, yeah. Oh boy, that could have been disastrous. So, come on, engineers, step up to the plate, get your shit together. I had an engineer in my family; he was the best ever. So, that's all I need to say. But yes, Jiminy Creepers, don't let the stadiums fall apart, and don't let our roller coasters fall apart, and don't let your arms fall apart. Here's the most interesting story. Let me pop up this here. There's a broken arm for you right there. Incendiary, never heard of them. I don't care. I don't have their picture here or anything, but somehow their vocalist broke his arm, and yet he finished the set. That what a rock star that is. Gee, creepers. I don't know how he broke it. I really don't, but boy, oh boy.
Yeah, they 4 songs in and on the set, and there's some fan video. You really can't tell. The band was having video done, and they're not putting out what happened or anything. So you kind of got the fan footage I watched. You really can't tell. And it was like,
I wonder if he was doing one.
It's a punk show, man. People are flying. Yeah, that's what you kind of see. You kind of see him flinging around,
flailing the arms and shit.
Yeah,
he hit a mic cord or a mic stand or guitar or something, and broke.
Well, you kind of see him swinging around with his arm, kind of swinging back, and then all of a sudden, like for the rest of his show, he's holding it real close to his body and doing his show. But the ironic thing about it, and maybe it's a little more than ironic, the name of their recent album is "Change the Way You Think About Pain." So could this possibly be a publicity stunt where he's trying to get his name out there, and the fact that he, was able to work through the pain and play through the pain? I don't know. There's a seed of doubt, of cynicism in my old geezer brain. There's a seed of cynicism that this could possibly be a publicity stunt. But
yeah, well, a fan did report that 10 minutes into their set, the lead dude swung out his arm and elbow. Somebody broke his arm, and he played for another 40 minutes like a G. So somebody broke his arm.
There's eyewitness account. Maybe my cynicism is unwarranted.
We need to see actual footage, CSI shit. Let's get the forensic files in on this.
Yeah.
Jiminy, they'll figure out what happened.
Yeah, I just thought as soon as I saw the name of that album, I'm like, I can't put 2 and 2 together.
Just swinging his arms out there, and probably he whacked something and broke it. But at least he continued playing. That's what you got to do when you're a rock star. So good for him. Way to step up to.
Dude, I don't know. I've broken bones, man. I don't know. Maybe
he's a rock star, man. Come on,
I could have done that.
Get a broken bones and all this shit. Tony Iommi is not a fossil. I will say that. Tony Iommi, legendary guitarist for Black Sabbath. Unlike Ozzy's a fossil. Come on. Tony Iommi isn't, but nonetheless, they named an old fossil after him. It's let me see.
Yeah, good luck.
Let me see. Drepanoistidis Iommi. There's a picture of the fossil right there, and it's named after the legendary Tony Iommi. He was represented with a life-size sculpture of the prehistoric fossil that them guys named after him, and it's a paleontologist and a heavy metal fan, Mats Eriksson. Got to be from Sweden with a name like that. I guarantee you he's from Sweden with a name like that.
Yeah, Scandinavian at least, yeah.
He discovered the 469 million year old fossil of an eel-like marine vertebrate in Russia, and named the new species Drepanoistidis Iommi after his rock hero. So there you go. Really. Now that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's not that's play on another tour when you're too old to do it. That's just Yeah, the legendary rock master, the heavy metal legend, deserves a fossil named after him. So I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not many folks can say that, man. That's that's a rare honor, man, for sure. So Tony, of course, he's honored by, he is real humble and just says, this has to be the weirdest thing named after me, but I'm really proud of it. So yeah.
Oh, boy, Tony.
Pretty cool.
He's so cool. Yeah, he's the Tony. He's the legend. Here we go. This is interesting. I don't know what to think about this, quite honestly. Well, actually, I don't care. Creed, the group Creed.
Oh, come on, Murph.
I know.
You got skin in the game here, man.
Yeah, okay. I gotta, tell you up front when it comes to Creed, I was the guitarist for the best Creed tribute in the world. Quite honestly, my own prison. And just to prove my point, we had some videos done at some clubs. I'll throw a few of them on the my own prison or my own prison, the RnRGzrs Facebook page. I'll throw some on there just so you can see what I was talking about. But yeah, it looks like they might do a reunion thing. All of a sudden, the Facebook profile page has changed, and usually people don't do that until they got something going on. And quite honestly, I think it'd be a great idea for all of them because they're going to make a ton of money. They're going to make a freaking ton of money. And they really only had the 3 great albums. The first 3 just outstanding, but I loved playing that stuff so much. I was an old school rock and roller. I used to play the standard tuned guitars, the standard E tuning and all that stuff for decades. And then along comes this opportunity to play in a Creed tribute. And I had to learn drop D and I had to learn open D tuning. And it was the heaviest thing with my Mesa Boogie and all that stuff. So I love playing the music. And quite honestly, yeah, if they reunite and do a tour, they're gonna make a boatload of money. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if people are kind of reading things into it, but people are saying, yeah, reunion's imminent. They've like I said, doing things on social media, and their website is under construction right now. So
there you go.
People are reading into it. But then you talk to Tremonti, and Tremonti's like, no, I don't have time for that. Basically what he's saying. But so,
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
And I mean, basically 3/4 of the band is Alter Bridge.
Right.
Instead of Scott Stapp, you got Miles Kennedy. But so Stapp's the missing piece, I guess. But
we'll see.
I'd
love to see it. That was great. That was so much fun playing that. And then they did I think the last tour where Stapp was all drugged out and shit and started passing out in concert. He did that. I think he passed out at the Chicago concert. People were suing him and shit. It was horrible.
I know. I saw them, but it wasn't at that show. I wish I had been at that show.
But, we'll see what happens. If they come back, they come back. If not, whatever. I'm too old.
Well, you know what, too? I always get this when Rockstar Tremonti says it's a matter of timing. And to me, that's code for I got better stuff to do. When I got nothing better to do and all the parents line up, maybe we'll do something. Yeah.
He'll probably make 10 times the money he does on a Creed tour and what he's making now, quite honestly. Because that would be.
Yeah, but he's got that. He's got his own band, Tremonti. I don't know how much they do anymore, but they pop up doing stuff from time to time.
But you watch, though. It's going to happen. You watch. Now that the seed's been sown, there's no reason to redo their all their social media, if they're not gonna
no, it is compelling. I don't know.
We'll see what happens. Here we go, Foreigner. Thank gosh, it feels like the first time. No, thank gosh it's the last time. So they're doing their farewell tour, and of course they gotta make as much money as possible. So they're putting out a companion album with their final tour, a companion album with probably filled with songs that the current lead singer didn't even sing on. So that's really great.
Oh, absolutely. No question. Yeah.
So what the hell? They're just trying to.
They're calling this a companion piece to the farewell tour. and the name of it is Farewell, the Very Best of Foreigner. And it comes in a gold vinyl, and it's only 5,000. They're individually numbered. They're, very collectibles, kind of thing. So there's only 5,000 copies, individually numbered. And I don't know if you want one. I think there's probably about 4,972 left if you want to get one. No, they probably sold up.
I don't know. That's just a money grab, it seems to me. Or maybe they are actually celebrating the band. I don't know. It seems weird.
Like you said, though, it's not going to be anybody. What is that? Just so you can say the people on stage actually played those songs on an album?
Well, don't they already have a best? I'm sure there's a best.
Well, I'm saying, but it's not with those musicians. It's with Foreigner. This is all just a cover band.
It's probably the same songs, though.
Well, it is. But my point is, are they doing this just so they can say we put out an album with these musicians? You know what I'm saying? Just so they can say, yes, we're this Foreigner band that you're seeing in concert actually put out an album. Well, no, not really.
They need
not of anything original.
They need to go away. Dang it! I tell you what. But here's a story. Yulee John Roth. Oh my gosh, I didn't even load up his pic. I'll be darned. Yulee John Roth.
He's an interesting looking guy, man.
Doggone it, I didn't load up the picture. But I'll be darned, he's a legendary guitarist. I mean, apparently his playing is really unique, and he played with who?
He's the original Scorpions
guitarist. And he's going out on tour. He was going to go out on tour, but no. First, they got to pull one of his kidneys out. So he's had to have one of his kidneys removed. So he's had to postpone his whole doggone North American tour, because even though he's still got one kidney, the doctors are saying, yeah, might want to take it a little bit easy for a while and let the body heal up. So he's gotten rid of he's canceled his whole damn tour, whole North American tour at that too. So he's going to reschedule it for the spring of 2024 next year. But yeah, he's a crazy good guitarist, real unique phrasing in his playing and stuff, and got a really cool looking guitar. And I can't believe I didn't load his picture up.
Yeah, he had a guitar he made, I remember, something just so he can get down to lower frets or something. I don't know. He's a pretty innovative guy that way. But he is one of those kind of guitar player. He's not a lot of people know him, but he's definitely got a following, and he's always playing. You see him come popping up around here like Arcadia, places like that. So
exactly,
yeah, getting a kidney removed, man. I don't know, that's pretty heavy stuff, man.
God, and they say, we want to assure you that this decision was not made lightly, but the well-being of Yulee is our utmost priority. Obviously, you had a kidney removed, for crying out loud. Take care of the one you got left. And, they're going to give all the money back and whatnot, if they want it. If not, the ticket's good for the next tour. So, he's doing what he can. But, at our ages, man, all that crap happens. So, poor Yulee. Yulee. I love the name. That's just the greatest name ever. So, hang in there, Yulee, and get well soon. All right, and moving on. A sad note, death of George Tickner. Folks might not be familiar with George Tickner, but he was the original guitarist for Journey, believe it or not. And he passed away. And he performed on not only did he perform, but he wrote some of the material on the first 3 albums. So a real integral part of the birth of Journey. So and I've got to Look Into the Future album. He wrote I'm Gonna Leave You and You're on Your Own on that album. So the guy was pretty busy, and he's geez, I can't believe I didn't load up that picture either, Doc. I fell down on the job. Oh, let me put the gal up there. There we go. But George Tickner, he wrote a bunch of the songs on their first 3 albums, and sadly, he passed away recently, like is what's happening. And Neil Sean posted, R.I.P. George, you now fly with the angels. obviously, I believe Neil replaced him, right?
No. Neil Schon, that's his band, man. That's Neil.
Well, who was George then? Didn't George start the band? Wasn't he one of the originals?
It was the original with originally it was George Tickner, Neil Schon, and then I don't know why George dropped out, but maybe Neil figured he needed another guitarist. I don't know. But it was the two of them, Greg Rowley, of course,
Sure.
Neil and Greg from Santana's band, Ross Valerie, and they had a drummer named Prairie Prince was the guy's name that they had taken from the Tubes. He had played with the Tubes, so these both San Francisco area bands. So I'm sure yeah, that stuff like that happened.
Oh, I bet you Quaid wasn't real happy about that.
Oh no, and so their first gig was New Year's Eve '73, and then he left, and then it was just just Neil alone on guitar from there on out. So
boy, that seemed to work out, huh?
Yeah.
Boy, yeah, that seemed that's one band. You see a lot of bands with the bass player, the keyboardist, drummer, and two guitars. But this is obviously the one situation where you only needed one guitar.
Yeah.
Of course, the keyboardist would take up the guitar, rhythm guitar when it was needed. So, yeah, obviously it worked out. My gosh, the legendary songs that are grilled into our head by every classic rock band.
That's one of those bands that definitely had an evolution, no pun intended. But for sure, I mean, they kind of started that two guitar sound into the one, and then got as they interchanged people, their sound changed along with it, and they evolved right along there till
at some point they got
to the '80s juggernaut that we're all aware of.
Real good at songwriting, yeah. Holy cow! So there you go. Rest in peace, my man. Oh, here we go. I love this. Now this is just great. This is really here we go. Listen now.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh, we've had a problem on the stage of the last week. We've had people taking falls on the stage.
And I can't get up.
Gosh. The first one was Axl Rose. Poor old Axl took a spill at the BST Hyde Park show. So Hyde Park, I'm guessing that's England or something. I don't know. Yeah.
BST British Summer, blah blah blah. I don't know what the tour. Man, I can't do tour. I don't know. Anyway.
Oh yeah, there's a great video online of him. He took a nice fall. It wasn't out in the open. He had it was between the drummer and I don't know what was in front of him, but you could see him go down.
Yeah.
Real well, but of course he bounced right back up. I think he's actually got his shit together. Like I say, I think they're on time these days, and he's probably realizing, I got to start acting like a freaking adult at some point. If he got a family at all? Do you know?
Axl?
Yeah, does he have a family? Do you know?
I'm unaware. That's something I don't know about.
Because a lot of times these crazy freaking musicians, once they get a family, it's like suddenly they actually grow up, start doing stuff. What?
Yeah, right.
But he fell, but he was walking towards the drum riser, got back on his feet, and no big.
Yeah, you can see he's kind of like second song in, and he's running from side to side on the stage, doing his thing, and then he starts singing, and he kind of starts backing up, and then he falls down, and you just see him kind of go down, and then pops back up, and
yeah, uninjured. He's a rock star. He's Axl, so good for them. I bet they're kicking ass. They do like a 27 song set. That's a lot of singing.
That's a lot. It's a lot, man.
For a singer, that's incredible. 27 songs. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Man, if they're pulling it off well.
Sounds like they're having a rough time over there in England, man. Between the Glastonbury thing and now with the Hyde Park falling down, maybe they better get back over here, man.
Need to get over to Tinley Park.
Yeah.
Over to Tinley Park. We'll come and cheer you on. But good for them. 27 song set. That is impressive. A bar band. You figure a bar band does a bar band will do a 4-hour set. And it's 3 hours of music and 2 half-hour breaks in between the 3 sets. And, you put in there like maybe 20, So you're doing about 30 songs, a little over 30 songs, but that's in a freaking bar, you know,
Yeah.
doing 27 songs at a major festival, you know, at a major concert tour. God bless him for his voice. If his voice is hanging on, man, more power to you, Axel. Jeebity creepers. Speaking of more falls, you remember this one because we saw it. We didn't think
Yes, we
much
did.
of it at the time. Shania,
No.
our sweetheart Shania. Oh, Shania, we love you so. The Rock and Roll Geezers shows loves you, Shania, just so you know. But yeah, she took a fall at the concert we were at. And of course, we noticed it, but she was so professional about it. You know, boom, she went down in her sweet butt, and boom, right back. You know, took a laugh and right back up again. But boy, it was all over the internet how, you know, Shania took a fall at Chicago and the fans are praising her and all that. It wasn't that big of a deal to us, but apparently, you know, people aren't aren't supposed to fall. But you know, same thing, she was going back and forth from the stage. She had high heels on, so crying out loud, I'm not surprised. But I'll tell you, she fell really well. So I got to give her credit on that.
Yeah, we didn't even bring it up in our review. We thought so little of it. We didn't, you know, just but yeah, then I started seeing it on the news and things like that. And yeah, again, that was very early on, like second song, maybe even first. It was very early on, first, second
It's funny.
song.
Yeah, she was in the middle of a performance of her song "Don't Be Stupid," which
Yeah.
slipped while walking across the stage, and then she just shouted out, "Don't be stupid, Chicago!" while on her bum, her sweet bum. And then she quickly got back up and right back into performing the song without missing a beat, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's yeah. And the fans were going nuts and praising her and stuff. But hey, she's a professional, and she's Shania, and oh, that was a great show. Oh yeah, people are falling all over the place. What are you supposed to do? You know, it's gonna happen.
Steve Harris.
Steve Harris from the legendary Iron Maiden. Yeah, and this one was obvious. You know, it's right in the front of the stage. You know, he just missed a step and boom, went down. Luckily, he didn't snap his guitar neck because he went down and it looked like the neck of his bass smacked the stage pretty bad. But, you know, it's a Fender, so they're built like tanks.
Right.
He kept going on, but
Fender P bass, no doubt.
oh, it could be. But yeah, he took it was in Leeds. Oh my gosh, Leeds.
Yeah.
Where the Who recorded their legendary live album, Live at Leeds.
Yeah.
Legendary. 4 tracks. They recorded that on a 4-track recorder. But then again, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album was recorded on a 4-track recorder. So there you go.
I think it was Led Zeppelin 2 was done on a 4-track, like on the back of the bus.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
amazing, man. That's amazing what those guys did, man. They're
Great
geniuses.
miracle workers back then when it came to music. But yeah, everybody's falling on stage now. Which, you know, it is what it is. But that's not the
I
biggest.
got a theory, man. I got a theory, though, before we get into the next here.
Come on.
Steve Harris thing, second song of the set. Shania, first, second song of the set. Axel, second song of the set. These are all very early on. And I have a fear. Are they slipping on opening band sweat? Is it like opening band sweat out there, and they're slipping on it?
Because it's this nervous sweat, you know, because they're playing to a big crowd and they're sweating like bullets. And oh boy, I don't know. Yeah,
It just seems odd that, you know, early on into everybody's set, they're falling down. I don't know.
well, Shania, I just blame on the fact that she was wearing heels, and she just, you know, you're wearing heels and strutting across the stage. One wrong move, boom, you're down.
Perhaps they need to wear OSHA-approved non-slip.
OSHA approved, yes, maybe a helmet, in case
Non-slip
you pop your
soles,
head out the stage floor. Yeah, let's get OSHA involved. Jeez, OSHA, gosh, you know, I saw back in like '78, I saw Blue Oyster Cult when they had their incredible laser show going, and OSHA shut them down a month later after I saw them because it was the most insane thing. Because, you know, nowadays when you see a band doing a laser show, the lasers won't hit your eyes. It's always above the crowd.
Yeah.
But back then we didn't know shit. You know, we're
Freaking blinding people at the Blue
my
Oyster
buddy
Cult
Marty,
show.
me and my buddy Marty, we're sitting in the back box, and the lasers are coming by us, and we could feel them. zoom. Oh, wow, cool. You know, and then OSHA shut them down. So yeah.
Oh yeah, back then everything was all new and experimental.
Oh,
And
it was great. God, it was.
this is cool. Look at this. Yeah.
Oh, it feels so
Oh shit,
cool.
that guy's blind now.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
There
god.
you go. That's why I had to get cataract surgery. Yeah. Well, anyway, here's a new problem. We talked about this last week, but man, it ain't stopping. People getting stuff thrown at them on stage. Holy cow! I just saw today Drake, the
Yeah.
pop guy, right? Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
hit
yeah.
by what did he get hit? He got hit by something right here in Chicago at the
Yeah.
United Center.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Let me see. A phone. Somebody threw a phone at him, and who else? Who's the pretty boy? Harry Styles.
Yeah.
He's a pretty boy singer, real flamboyant and whatnot. But I was watching a video of him walking back from walked out into the center of the crowd there. They got a stage, and he's walking back. Somebody whacks him with something right in the eye. I mean, Jiminy Creeper. It's happening everywhere now. What a bad fad, if you will, to happen to
Yeah, it seems to be I don't know, a disturbing new trend. Yeah, kind of. I think we reported on, as it's going along. We had one pop. It's always young pop artists. You never hear like legacy artists. This happening. So there's always these up and coming young pop artists. Some of them are established, but you had a young lady, Glorilla. Somebody threw bottles at her. She had like a bottle or something at her. And we talked about we talked about BB Rexa. Had the phone thrown at her, hit her in the eye, actually required stitches. And then we talked about Pink. Somebody threw their mom's ashes up on stage.
Yes.
For Pink.
Now here, time out right there. Wait a while, because didn't she? Let me see. Where is it? Yeah. This week, a thoughtful, if clearly deranged fan handed Pink a full wheel of cheese from the front row.
I don't consider that the same category. I mean, people have been handing people stuff for decades. But, I mean, throwing it is another.
Even if they had a wheel of cheese onto the stage, that would be okay. I would accept the wheels of cheese, especially cheddar, nice sharp cheddar. That'd be great. So, yeah, that'd be great. But man, oh man, they're throwing a lot of bad things.
So yeah, we had the Pink, and then a guy, Little Nas X. People that know him, had a sex toy thrown on stage, and of course he made the comment, "Who threw their pussy on stage?"
Oh man.
Young, I think she's country. Kelsey Ballerini was hit in the face with a thrown object here recently. Harry Styles had it twice. He had once in the eye in LA and then another one in Chicago. He talked about Drake. Yeah, I was here in Chicago. There's a singer named Steve Lacy, maybe country guy, I don't know.
Sounds like
had a cell phone thrown at him, and he got it and smashed it. So yeah. There you go. But then to bring up these kind of things, as a rapper, Lil Uzi Vert had a phone thrown at him, and he threw it back into the crowd and injured a fan.
Ah, boy.
So we're just this is going to escalate. Bad things are going to happen. Recently, there was a video with Adele, and she brought it up. And about people throwing stuff on stage, and while she's saying it, she's got one of those T-shirt cannons, like they have like a minor league baseball games or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah, throw something at me. I dare you. I'll kill you." And so she's shooting T-shirts or whatever out there. So she's addressing. Obviously, it's a thing, man. But,
yeah, it's a bad thing. That's a bad trend. Back in the day, we didn't have cell phones anyway, so. When you went through the line and security coming into the concert, basically all you had to do, you were just trying to hide your doobies. That's about all you were trying to do, and you didn't have anything else but your wallet and your doobies. So, and now they got to let people in with these weapons. I mean, and there's too damn many deranged people. It seems like, we're getting too many more deranged people in the world these days, and they end up at concerts throwing their crap up there. I'm sorry when somebody gets hit in the eye and get hit in the head with a phone. The person isn't mildly tossing up, they're winging it. So then, boy.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take some heave to it to get it up. Yeah.
Well, at some point, the performer's going to have to point out, hey, if you see anybody next to you throw anything up here, you have to turn them in or something, or they got to put cameras going into the audience, so good cameras, so they can keep an eye on the crowd, so they can pinpoint who throws something, because this could get really out of hand really easy.
You know what? Here's what I hope it don't come to. Is like, what do you want? You want them to have protective screens up?
Yeah.
Is that what's going to come
Blues
to?
Brothers,
yeah.
Good old
exactly.
Blues Brothers
Some
country
chicken
band.
wire up there. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what it's going to come to? Because this is ridiculous. This is scary, because
there's the Gallagher brothers chimed in on this. Noel Gallagher chimed in on it and says the concert ticket does not afford you object throwing privileges.
Yeah.
And he goes back and he talks about a time back when he and his brother were on better terms and in Oasis days, and they were going to quote annihilate a fan that had thrown something at Liam in the head, or a shoe, had thrown a shoe, hit Liam in the head with a shoe.
George Bush.
And yeah, right. And then they were gonna go, they were gonna get him. They were gonna go wait for this dude. They were gonna find him and get him and stuff. So
this is getting scary, Yeah, this is getting scary. Man, oh man, I don't know. What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? You can't, jeez.
Like I said, it always seems to be these younger pop artists, so like young people and crowds and alcohol and phones is just, I don't know, don't mix, I guess. But
they have to make an announcement before the concert. Anything thrown at stage, we have cameras, we will find you and we will press charges.
Yeah.
At what point this stuff's got to end? I'd be really, you're a performer standing there and you got 1,000 people right there. And you just can't have them winging stuff at you. That's not right.
I mean, as we just talked about, they're trying to perform, put on their best show. There's dangers of falling, apparently all over the place. People are falling all over. And now you got to worry about things being thrown at. It's like the danger zone up there, man.
Yeah, so it's a crazy world out there, Doc. I tell you what, man. Hopefully people regain their senses. You can't be throwing stuff at performers, for crying out loud, or it's gonna end up in a bad place. So, in any case, thanks a lot, folks. Another week of rock news for you, and Lord knows why. I say it every week. Who knows what's going to be coming up next week? And it's always something exciting. So we'll be there to report it to you. So thanks again for stopping by. And tell you what there, Doc, why don't you take it home, man?
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah, every week there's always something. So thanks again for joining us, everybody. Please tell a friend. Please tell all your friends. Definitely use some help spreading the word. So we'll do it again next Monday like we always do. So until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.